Yeah, we're just in the same mindset. I mean, we want to put the effort in tonight, but the way it's gone here, I just want to make sure we get away from any more nicks. We're trying to go the back end, trying to get healthy with some of the guys. We just don't need any more right now.
Carter Hart the other day said that he will be ready for the opener.
Who?
Carter Hart.
Yeah.
He said he'll be ready for the opener. Are you confident in that too?
I don't know where it sits. We still got 7 or 8 days prior to that, and it's hard for me to make a judgment. I thought he practiced well today. We'll just see how the week goes, and then we'll go from there.
Regarding the way this camp schedule in the preseason, have you ever had a camp where there was this long of a gap between the final preseason game and the start of the regular season? And if so, what does that do to your planning of camp and preparing?
Yeah, I haven't had this many days because I think the season starts 2 days prior to our home opener, doesn't it? Yeah, so we're on the backside of that. It's been usually just 3 or 4 days, but the situation we're in right now with some guys banged up a little bit, we welcome it. I've kind of changed my thinking, and I still had some more conditioning to do. I felt I needed to do, kind of backed off that. And I haven't had many exhibition seasons with back-to-backs, the number of back-to-backs we've had. So that's kind of changed a little bit. So, you move around, you move the pieces as you go through, but as the amount of days we have off, I welcome that right now. I wouldn't if we were healthy because they want to play. And but right now with the number of guys, just not terrible injuries, but just banged up a little bit, we'll welcome it.
Kind of as a follow-up on that, quite a few of the young guys, thinking the Cates brothers, Lazinski, have played in a lot of these games. How much of that is you and the coaching staff testing them to see if they're ready physically for the NHL?
Yeah, it's part of kind of putting them through a little glimpse of a National Hockey League schedule, right? And it's going to get shorter than this. The beginning of the year, it's kind of spaced out, but when you get going, and that's one of the big questions you have with kids, with the young kids, is putting the uniform on every day, back-to-backs every other day, travel, all that. You haven't gone through too much traveling. But that's certainly one of the things we talked about with the kids to put them through that, but also give them as long a look as possible. I think I would have changed. Some of them wouldn't have played as many, but because of, as we just talked about, some of the injuries we have, it forces my hand to give them even more games. But to me, like I told Chuck, would I have liked to use these 2 games to kind of look at our lineup, what we thought it would be right now? Sure. Can't. And so it gives the kids even more of a look.
How well do you feel like some of those kids have handled having 5 games in 11?
Yeah, they're good. They're good. I mean, they just play. We haven't overloaded them in meetings. We're just beginning to touch upon as far as the X's and O's, and so we've tried to keep them fresh. We had a day off yesterday, short skate today, no conditioning today. Tomorrow we're not going to be on the ice, so we're trying to use these 3 days, to give them a little skate, but also not only injured guys, but some of the guys that have played all these games, to give them a break. So tomorrow's just off ice; they won't even be on the ice, and we'll probably end up, assigning some people too, and tomorrow as we go through the day.
You just referenced that you're just beginning to get the X and O stuff, and really work on that over the remaining days of camp. We focus a lot on the goal scoring side. I'm just curious though, have you noticed the score seemed to indicate it, guys making a conscious effort to back check, play responsibly, not cheat out the zone in helping to keep scores?
Yeah, I thought especially the first half of that Islander game out there in the island, I thought our tracking and back checking was really good, and you could see our D just feeling comfortable. They see them in position, so they can just stand up in the neutral zone. They can hold the blue line. We're really trying to concentrate on. I want them to understand that mistakes are mistakes. I just want to make aggressive mistakes. I want our defense to take a chance and pinch. I want our defense to take a chance and surf up in the neutral zone. Will it cause a 2-on-1 occasionally? Yeah. That's why we have a goalie. He needs to make a save too. I want us to be aggressive that way. and it all starts with the tracking. It's one of the parts of the game we started right away in camp is talking about tracking. I was really happy about it in the island, and it affects the game. We played a half-ice game against them for a number of minutes because of that. Lost ourselves as we started turning the puck over, took some penalties, and they took the momentum. But yeah, it's a huge part of how we have to play. We're gonna have to grind. We're goal scoring. You talk about. It's not a team filled with those type of players, and we're gonna have to play well away from the puck, and we're gonna have to grind with a forecheck and go about our business that way.
John, players who have played for you said you guys practice so hard on your systems that when they get in the game, they don't think as much. It's just instinct. How long do you think it could take for you guys to hammer down your system where you have players not thinking and they're just playing?
Yeah, I think that gets into probably middle to late November because you go through the experiences and the real stuff in the real games. After the games, you're doing your tape work, showing the good stuff, the bad stuff, how with the corrections. I think when you start getting into that 10, 15 game area, that's when they feel more comfortable. It's a very simple system. I said it from the get-go here. I don't want to overload them with the X's and O's because I think the game has changed a little bit. You need to have the foundation, but it's the effort and the attitude you have on the ice, I think, carries you too. So yeah, to answer your question, you're looking middle to late November, and I think they feel much more comfortable as far as allowing the game to come to them.
Regarding the backup goalie battle, Felix is out there right now.
Yeah.
Do you have an update on kind of where he's at injury wise? And number two, what does the fact that he's a little banged up do to your evaluation and Kim's evaluation of who will ultimately win that backup?
Yeah, we're still up in the air. He feels better today. I haven't gone to the trainers as far as where everybody is yet this morning. But I know he felt better yesterday, feels better today. We're just gonna have to let it play out this week. Not so much I think we've seen him enough, the goalies enough. It's just who's healthy, and make our decisions. Carter, how he is. Practiced very well today. We'll see where the week goes.
Has that been a pleasant surprise, Sandstrom and Urson in the net, two young guys battling for a spot?
Well, I don't watch him that much. Dilly and I had conversations this summer, especially when it went a little crazy in Russia, as far as the young guy was supposed to come to us. Had conversations on what's next, and I know they've and talking to Dilly daily and talking to Chuck daily as far as this situation, we're really happy with what's gone on here with our goaltending as far as the effort that's been put in and some of the play of these guys that really I didn't know too much about. And Dilly I depend on him in giving me the evaluation. He's thrilled about what's gone on here with these guys as they've gone through camp.
Cam York's gotten 5 games. You played him a lot of minutes the other night. How do you think he's been responding to being pushed here?
Okay. There's more there, and we expect that. We don't expect to hit a home run with him right now. He's on our radar as far as how we have to handle. It's okay.
When you say that there's more there, what more do you want to see?
Making a difference. Yeah, making a difference. He is his skating, his ability, his skill level. To me, it's mental, and it's wanting to make a difference and be more consistent doing that. So it's a tough hurdle to climb, to go over, because some kids are, you can be okay, or you can be really good. That's when you make a difference. Being really good is making a difference. Those are the things we have to go through the process with them, and we didn't expect this to happen overnight.